Welcome back, everyone, to another fabulous episode of Baptized and Clueless. I'm your host, Yusuf, with my co-host here, Michelle. Michelle, how are you doing today?
I'm wonderful, blessed and highly favored, and happy to have Wes
Wesley is
back.
back. Wesley, how you doing, man?
I'm doing all right, Yusuf, man.
How was your simpatico, your little break, the things that you take care of? Is that good?
No, man. The conference was good, man. I enjoyed it. My siblings enjoyed it. Yeah.
That was a blessing that you all got to go together.
Yeah, it was.
I have an assignment for you. Build on it, Wesley.
Yeah.
They were there to witness it. Don't let it fall flat, bro.
Yeah. I know.
Because tickets are not cheap. So take the opportunity to do God's work while you can.
Yeah.
Today's topic, we are talking about who's living rent free.
Mm.
And the who can be broken down in different ways.
Yeah.
Who, of course, could be the enemy.
Mhm.
Let the enemy live rent free in your head. And that could be in so many different forms. Sometimes it's not always the enemy. Sometimes it's our own insecurities and the enemy plays on it. We allow that to take place. And so when we speak on this, living rent free, of course, the term is always used in a way where someone's thinking about someone too much and they live rent free in their head, for those who aren't clear in the terminology.
Yeah.
So for those who are following Christ, what is it that you're allowing to distract you? Is it a who? Is it a what? And the question is, have you ever thought about why? So when it comes to things living rent free in someone's head, what can you guys think of that most people have a complaint about?
Yeah. For me, I would say like it's definitely negative thinking. Those negative thoughts, like they constantly live rent free in my mind. Always when I'm like it could be something random, right? And that thought just comes up thinking like, oh, you're not this, you're not that, you can't do this, you can't do that, like, and those thoughts constantly bombard my mind to make me stay stagnant and not to even go into like whatever it may be that is causing me to have those negative thoughts. It could be like a simple project that I'm trying to do, or like for example going like basically just going to apply for a job or something like that, and that thought comes up where it's like, you're not qualified for that.
Right.
You can't do that.
Right.
And it's like, those are the thoughts that, cause me to stay stagnant. So yeah, it's the negative thoughts that live rent free in my mind.
And sometimes those thoughts that you have, like the questions of like, you're not qualified, some of them are legit. Most of them are not. Like if you try to apply for running a country, you're probably not qualified with.
Yeah.
But if it's like a job that's within the skill set or interest that you have, you probably have qualification skills that can go towards it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's like sometimes those insecurities are backed by what? Fear, right?
Yeah.
The fear is of the unknown. So we think of, if we get this job, what's the outcome going to be? And there's one. Fear lives rent free in a lot of us.
Oh man, yeah.
That's the worst one.
Right?
That's the worst one.
It metamorphs into so many different things. It doesn't have to be just a fear of something that says boo. Right? So many things. People are afraid of achievements. People are afraid of failure.
Yeah.
People are afraid of, if they do get through this portion of it, what's going to come next? Can I handle that? And it's that the fear of the unknown is a huge one for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Right.
And so that fear is living them rent free, and they stay stagnant in life.
Yeah.
And I mean, of course, you're going to attach some of this to the enemy.
It's funny.
Not always.
It's funny. When Wes answered, that is the negative thoughts that you let live rent free. I'm tongue tied today. I was so grateful that you said that, because I'm like sitting here and I'm going, oh gosh, that was a loaded question. I felt like, which thing do I not let live rent free in my
Oh
head?
man, that's true. Yeah.
There you go.
I felt like I couldn't even narrow it down, but when you really said, that you let the negative thoughts live rent free, it made me reflect on something. And I always say, like, I like being vulnerable because I think it's really important for other people to recognize how human, even the voices that they're listening to on a podcast, on a TV show, on whatever, are. There was a question my therapist had asked me at one point, and I really, really appreciated it. We were counseling through some issues, and I said something, and she said, "Stop." And I said, "What?" And she goes, "Whose voice was that you just told me?" I was like, "What are you talking about?" She's like, "What you just said was such a negative statement about something about yourself that you're not insecure about. You just said that negative thing." She said, "Whose voice was that?" And I was like, I really had to stop and think. And when she said it, it was a family member who had said it to me when I was a child.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
And I say that to say, because it's not just, and then there was another, and she purposely, in that session, she purposely would say, "Stop," and ask me whose voice that was. And I realized that was my ex-partner. That was my ex-partner's voice. And then I would realize that was, and the amount of voices that we allow to live in our head rent free that we are not conscious of. It sits in our subconscious.
Yeah.
And I really appreciated when she said those things to me, because in the weeks following that, I was so intentional that when I had a negative thought or spoke negatively over myself or even over my home or my children, I said, "Stop, Michelle. Whose voice is that?" And I was very intentional for a few weeks. You don't realize how many times you're letting the voices of others from the past sit in your subconscious and live rent free. And it will deter you from the work of God, because God will place something on your heart. He will place something in your hands, and he will give you clear instruction, and you fumble with it. And it's not because you don't know what to do with what he gave you. It's not because you're not competent or capable. It's because the voices have become so loud. The voices of the enemy,
you've been believing it,
have become so loud. You normalize them as your own fears. And they are not. They're fears that are placed on you, and they're living rent free. Like, think about it for you guys. Like, ask yourself, ask you guys, both of you, the same question that my therapist asked me. Like, when you think of a negative thought, if you really stop and say, "Whose voice is that?" Whose voice do you come up with when you think of that?
My friend did that to me when we were like 15. I was shadowboxing in the hallway with him. He wasn't there. I was just like, he was there, but I wasn't shadowboxing at him, just around him. He says to me, "Who are you fighting?" And it's not racial, but just think of where we were at as kids. He goes, "Was it a black guy?" And I said, "Oh, it was." No particular face.
Oh, wow.
But as an adversary, that would be the biggest adversary of who I'd actually physically fight. I'm not worried about fighting a white guy or anyone else. This is me at 15. And he said it to me. I was like, subconsciously without even thinking about it. And it's just, you're right, how things are in our head. Like, we think it's the hardest thing is going to be to oppose somebody. You may see who you have issues with. Some people be someone who's of a different culture. Some people be someone who's of the exact same culture. That's your biggest wall to go against. So yeah, he had me thinking about that ahead of time. Like, when you feel this way or talk this way or do something, that's not even tangible of something there. Like, who is it against? What is the drive behind it? Where did it come from? So, no, great question by a therapist. Some therapists are worth their money. Some of them are not.
Like, oh, she is so worth my money. But it made me think back to, when I thought about that, it made me think back to a verse that we had talked about, Luke 10:40. It says, "But Martha was cumbered about much serving, and came to him and said, Lord, dost thou not care that my sister hath left me to serve alone? Bid her, therefore, that she help me." And for me, that one resonates very personally, because I'm always that person. I'm always that Martha who's doing. And the reason I'm doing is because of some of the voices living rent free in my head, such as like situations in the past that may have been abusive emotionally. where they're taking advantage of you, and you normalize it for yourself, so you feel performative. So if I'm not continually being performative, I feel like I'm being judged, because I was being judged in certain emotional abuse circumstances. And now I can't spend time with God. It has impacted my relationship with God, because sometimes I feel like I can't sit down, God. I have too much to do because I have to show up as X, Y, and Z to this world, when it's more important who I show up with in my relationship with God. Sit down. Don't worry about the laundry, Michelle. Sit down. Don't worry about the dishes, Michelle. Sit down and have it. And I think we said this in a previous podcast, like that intimate time with God, he's so happy if I will just give him 20 minutes of my time, 10 minutes of my time. But I will make the big show about why I can't, spend an hour feeling guilty about why I didn't, and still have to go turn around and make the time to spend the 5 minutes instead of the 20 or 30 I should have in the first place.
Exactly. And the beautiful thing about
negative thoughts sitting right first.
The beautiful thing about the whole Martha and Mary situation is just Jesus put it so simple, like, don't take away her joy. She's doing she's doing what's right. She's doing the best thing, which is spending the time with him.
Yeah.
The chores and everything's gonna still be there. We have washing machines that literally do the work for us. We load it and unload it. That's it. But we always figured that these things have to be done at a particular time, and it doesn't have to be.
Yeah.
And at the time with Jesus, he's only going to be there for a particular time for them to actually sit with him like that. He wasn't hanging on every last word he had to say. And Martha is freaking out because she's like, and I feel Martha, because that would be me. I'm like, yo, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Get up and get some bread and tea for the man. What are you doing? Mary didn't pay no attention to her at all. And Jesus had to stop her, like, stop making her frantic and things that don't matter.
But you see,
but the thing is, Jesus never asked anyone to do anything.
Yeah.
So it's how we are, right? He doesn't ask us to do anything. We do all these extra things, putting it as a priority over what he wants from us, which is just the time.
Yeah. You know, and I was just thinking, like, as Michelle was reading that verse, you know, another thing that could live rent free in our minds is worry. You know? Yeah, worrying.
Even.
Yeah. Like what you said, Yusuf, about how, you know, the chores are gonna be there. But the fact that we worry about, like, it getting done, you know, like we feel like we have to do it right now, you know, and we can't wait till later to get it done,
right?
You know, and so that goes hand in hand with the negative thinking. You know, worrying leads to the negative thoughts.
You know, and the thing is, too, that's so funny that there's no one. I can't recall any story in the Bible where someone spent time with God and they lost time. They spent time with God and they lost an opportunity.
Yeah.
They spent time with God and they took an L. It's always been the opposite. You don't spend time with God, you take an L. You don't spend time with God, you lose on opportunities.
Yeah.
Right? The gains are with him, but because it seems like we're not doing, we're just sitting there and spending time with him, whether in thought, in prayer, in praise, we think it's not doing anything. We're so conditioned to what equals to tangible effort in this world that we don't understand it.
We're so concerned with that visual output, not just for ourselves, but I think we're more concerned with the perceived output of other people than what God is perceiving of us. Because will that person think I'm lazy? Will that person think I'm untidy? Will that person think that I'm not X, Y, and Z, whatever story that might be? I know for this season of my life, I always say to you guys, like, I've been very quiet and just staying in a consecrated state. I want to be alone a lot. I want to spend time with God. I'm not great with it. Don't get me wrong. I can spend a full 24 hours at home talking about I'm going to spend time with God. I maybe truly spend 2 to 3 hours. That's the truth. That's true. I'll spend a full 24 hours home and say that I'm spending time with God today. And I promise you I'm spending 2 to 3 hours of that 24 hours with him. Because we just don't know how to sit with him. We just don't know. And how do you build relationship with someone who you're not investing quality time with?
Try that in a marriage. Won't work. Try that.
I was just
try that with an employer.
Can you imagine my dating life if I told a person, yo, I'll see you 3 hours a week, but I want to get married next year?
Oh gosh.
That's the term side piece comes in, because that's what we end up being. Because we're not spending no time, so they would invest in us. They would not invest.
So you trying to say I'm God's side piece? What kind of thing?
No, I'm saying that we spend 3 hours a week with someone, they would not be taking it seriously.
Yeah.
Not
Right.
at all.
Exactly.
But the other things that we allow to live rent free are the things of this world.
Yeah.
Chase of the hustle.
Yeah.
Get in the bag, right?
Oh.
And Jesus points it out in Mark 4, verse 19. And the cares of this world and the deceitfulness of riches and the lust of other things entering in choke the word, and it becometh unfruitful.
Dang.
People spend so much time running around for the things of this life that will fade. That the simple things that God
that word
asking for.
Choke
the word.
That word choke.
Yep. Yeah.
And being unfruitful, man, it is not nice. People think, oh, it sounds so cute, unfruitful. Okay, no. Look what he did. Look what Jesus did to the tree, the fig tree that was not bearing fruit.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Tree got cursed to never grow anything again, withered and died.
Withered away. Yep.
It was a tree just minding its own business, but it wasn't being fruitful, and God didn't create nothing to be not fruitful.
It was deceiving because it had leaves. But had no fruit.
Now, mind you, the poor tree was just being an example, but it's for a good example.
Yeah.
If you have no value, if you're not taking care of the things that He's giving you, if you're not doing what you're supposed to do, it's like, what's the point of you being here?
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's like people are chasing all these things in this world, and it's like you are wasting the time that you're given. Don't know what's going to go on tomorrow.
Yeah.
But in your head, you're fretting the fact that I gotta get this bag. That lives rent free in social society to the T.
Yep.
The things that people are willing to do to get the clicks, which turns into money, but also the attention, because a lot of people are online. Some of them are not even getting the money out of it. They just attention deficit, like they don't get enough attention.
Right.
And then there's those who are chasing money. So it's like people are doing all these things and it lives in their head rent free. You hear influencers, horrible name by the way. You hear influencers literally talking about I eat and sleep marketing. So 24/7 if they could. But pretty much they're wasting time. They're just thinking about how do I?
Yeah.
How do I create more content for engagement? It's not to help anyone.
Yeah.
Some of them is to help people. Don't get me wrong. Shout out to YouTube University.
YouTube University.
Right. YouTube's the best. But at the end of the day, it's like people are just doing these things and they don't even realize why they're doing it anymore. Because if you're not securing contracts, especially those starting out, they're the worst because they're like, they don't know how much more they've got to do to get to where they need to get to and how to do it. So they're really focused on trying all these things, fully distracted. So everything's taking up time in their head. And they think it's a matter of them blowing. Like, that's not what your life was about. It was for you to become a big social media star, which is so ridiculous to say.
But you said it. You said it, Yusuf, that word distraction. That's what, like, you could say that's what is the main thing of whatever it is that lives rent free in our minds. That's what they all have. Whatever it may be, that's what it all has
in common,
equivalent to. It's like it all is a distraction.
Yeah. It's so
true. I feel like I need counsel from the two of you right now because that fig tree analogy just like hit me.
Oh man,
that fig tree. Well,
because sometimes I think, if I'm being honest, I think sometimes I feel like that fig tree because it had lots of leaves.
Yep.
It has lots of leaves. Your talents, your capabilities, your capacities, the things that people know you for, the things that you are good at.
Yeah.
But it's not bearing the that is required of it. And so, like you said, it was misleading. And I feel sometimes I'm in this season between, am I bearing fruit or am I not bearing fruit? And if I'm not bearing the fruit that you desire for me to bear, God, I need to hear your voice more. So I need to sit and listen. But in the same breath, also need to get up and do, and you will guide what I do.
That's it.
Yeah.
So I feel like sometimes I feel stuck between both, and sometimes I think my heart genuinely fears things that take up rent, take up space in our head, rent free.
Right.
I think sometimes I fear being on one side or the other too much or too little.
Yeah.
Meaning I'm not bearing the fruit that he needs me to bear, that he requires of me, because I'm not acting, but I'm also sometimes not acting because I believe I need to sit with him a little bit more to make sure that I'm taking the correct instruction from God.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
That's your starting point.
Yeah.
So spending time with him will give you direction.
Yeah.
Like some mornings,
Okay.
it hasn't happened in a little while, but some mornings I sit just reading, and I don't even get past the second paragraph when I'm reading, and he hits me with something on the thought. I'm like, ooh, and I write down the thought, and 10 minutes later, I've got like a paragraph of stuff that came from it, and then I go back to reading what I was doing before. But you spend the time with him, he'll speak to you throughout. He'll speak to you during, he can speak to you afterwards.
That's so true.
So that'll give you a direction in the first place. And I was going to say, as far as knowing if you're bearing fruit, sometimes we just base that on our own timing, and our timing is flawed.
That's so true.
So, I mean, this is why
I needed that word.
Yeah, this is why he tells us, do good. If you're doing good unto others, there's no time frame for that.
Yeah. And as you were saying that, Yusuf, I was also thinking, like, I was also in that space, Michelle, where I was thinking, am I really bearing fruit? But I remember, like the church me and Yusuf watched, Transformation Church, they were talking about the fruits of the Spirit, and I remember one of the guys in our Bible study, he asked us all a question, like, what fruits do you think you need to work more on? And a lot of them said patience. A lot of them, said, gentleness and, a bunch of the other fruits too. But like, when I think of what Yusuf just said about just doing good, sometimes we tend to, like, not think about that, like not think about the little things that we do that are actually fruits of the Spirit, like kindness. I know kindness is one of the fruits of the Spirit, and we don't think about like the kind things that we do for people. And I had to start to think to myself, like, okay, so it's the little things that we do that we may overlook, but those are actually the fruits of the Holy Spirit. And so I was in that headspace as well, but I had to, think to myself, like, Wesley, you the little things you do, that you don't think about, that you think, you could just overlook, like, actually think about those things. And it was Yusuf that had to tell that to me. Yeah, take them for granted. Yeah.
You see, Wes, you actually listen. I love it, man. something as small as joy.
I appreciate that perspective.
Yeah, something as small as joy is
this moment right here.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this moment right here, even though this moment is a podcasting moment, I think people need to realize that these moments are important in their daily life, which is why they need to have a community around them of people who can give them perspective.
Yeah.
Right.
That's correct. That's so correct. This is the thing. I was thinking to put this in a shift. So there is another topic. Like, this is how, the topic sounds so simple, who's living rent free, but we allow the things that we desire to live rent free. Things that we don't like to live rent free.
Yeah.
So, no disrespect, but Paul was a gangster when it came to saying stuff.
Gangster for real.
Right.
First, when he was speaking to Corinthians, or when he wrote a letter to Corinthians, he was talking about marriage. And he said, I'd like you to be free from concern. Sorry, it's 1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 32 to 35. It says, I would like you to be free from concern. An unmarried man is concerned about the Lord's affairs, how he can please the Lord.
Right.
But a married man is concerned about the affairs of this world, how he can please his wife. Guilty. And his interests are divided. An unmarried woman or virgin is concerned about the Lord's affairs. Her aim is to be devoted to the Lord in both body and spirit. But a married woman is concerned about the affairs of this world, how she can please her husband. I wish. I am saying this for your own good, not to restrict you, but that you may live in a right way, in undivided devotion to the Lord. Now, I was making little gestures in between, but the truth of the matter is people live pouring into their husband or into their wife, and that's because they're not being led by the Lord. And at the end of the day, we get it wrong in marriage all the time. All the time. Like, I don't even want to tell you, like, just look at the examples on TV because they're horrible examples.
Horrible.
Everything's a big show. Oh, it's our third week dating. Big cake and balloons, and like, what are you celebrating? Really and truly. And no one knows how to sit with the Lord and celebrate in Him and seek Him first. Like, it's one of the things. Seek Him first, and everything else will come pretty much in alignment in your life. But nope, that's not what we do. And Paul's putting this on the simple fact that, we do. Like, I have to admit, like, the idea of marriage was like, okay, you get married, that's it. That's your focus. Yes, it is. But not to the point where you cut God out.
Yeah.
And like, oh, no, I'll never cut out God. Saying grace is not keeping God in the loop.
No, not at all.
Your food, like, it's not even close.
Yeah,
right.
And you know, as a single guy, I was falling into that trap where it's like, oh, when I get married, I'm gonna do whatever it takes to please my wife.
Yeah.
But it's like, what are you trying to do, Wesley? Are you trying to please your wife, or are you trying to please the Lord?
Yeah.
Because you, at the end of the day, you have to love the Lord more than you love your wife.
This is it. But you'll end up loving your wife properly. Not lustfully, not lazily.
Yeah.
You'll do it properly with the right amount, because you'll feel the conviction of how much time and how much thought you're putting into stuff with her versus to him.
Yeah.
In comparison, I should say. And it's really important, because I think majority of marriages is what we lack. Because there wasn't, like, no one told us this verse getting into marriage. No one told us a verse on oh my gosh, just been playing this same thing in Corinthians again, talking about what husbands and wives should be to each other.
Right.
The balance is.
It's funny that you say that.
First.
I know. No, I know. Like, in my marriage in the past, I definitely recognized when you're able to step away from the marriage, unfortunately, it gives you a real, if you choose to, it gives you a real chance to reflect on not just the bad things about the marriage or the bad things about the person, because it's easy to point fingers and blame.
Yeah.
But I think one of the biggest things I took away from a separation for me was, where did I go wrong in the marriage? And one of the biggest areas that I went wrong in was I did not truly surrender the marriage to God. And I'm not saying that I'm not saying God would have saved the marriage either, because I really don't believe that it was the kingdom spouse that God had for me in the first place. But at the same time, it was still my duty, regardless of what my partner did, to have my focus on God first.
Right.
And then have my focus on my spouse.
Right.
And I never operated in the correct order. And I think in this season, I resonate with what Wes just said, because I think when I first left, I was so excited, thinking like, oh, you're human, so you daydream, especially the lady. You daydream, oh, my next marriage is going to be that's going to be it for me. It's going to be the be all and the end all. Right. But you're thinking of it from the perspective of, I'm going to invest into my husband. But taking that time to think about where I went wrong, I appreciate it, because in this season of singleness, I'm really so much more focused on God. And even as I walk in the journey of preparing myself for that kingdom spouse that God has for me, I'm very aware of the fact that as I get to know that partner, I need to focus on God still more than that partner.
Yeah.
And it gives me a training ground and time to get it. I don't want to say get it right, because do we ever get everything perfect? But it gives me a chance to actually do better and put the priorities in the correct order, where it is God first, my spouse next, and then my children. Exactly. Sorry, actually, God first, myself, then my spouse, then my children.
Yeah.
And I want the same thing from a spouse too. I want that spouse to say God first, themselves, then me, then the children. Because if we're not taking care of foundation first, we're not even good.
Well,
I can't be that person's happiness. They can't be mine.
No. How are you going to measure your love? It says to love your neighbor, you love yourself.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you have to know how much you love yourself in order to pass that love on to your neighbor.
Right.
Your spouse.
But I didn't know that before. And I'm so grateful to hear that now.
Well, Wes came and went to clutch too late because everyone learned that way after the fact. It's like, before you say I do, by the way, did you read this part in Corinthians? Like, that's what it has to be at this point. Because I'm telling you, Michelle, everyone got it wrong. I got it wrong. You got it wrong. Everybody got it wrong. Because we all just saw marriage as, okay, marriage is going to answer these things. It'll replace these problems. It'll fix these things.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
that's not what it's for, bro.
It magnifies whatever problem you walk in.
Like, one thing I heard from like this guy named Tim Ross, I heard him say one time that, like, you know how when you come to the altar in marriage, like, he said that there's nothing good about that, because he said the altar, like when stuff comes to the altar, that means they're coming to die. And so that means when you're coming to the altar in marriage, that means you're dying to yourself.
Right.
Yeah.
100%.
You're dying to yourself.
And that's the part no one gets, because no one, I'm telling you, if people understood the Bible to the T, they probably wouldn't want any of it. Because this part,
that's true.
It makes marriage sound so much worse.
Paul did say that you would be better off being single like me.
That's the whole point. Before the part I read, that's what he was talking about. He was pretty much like, but if you gotta do it because you can't control yourself, as he disses them, it's better to marry. I'm like, Paul, bro.
He said burden with lust.
Burden with lust. Trying to put the PG version of it.
Yeah, the PG version. Yeah.
You can't control your loins.
Oh my.
Well, yeah, you go to the altar and you die to self because you're supposed to be one.
Yeah.
But living rent free in our head is the fantasy of, this is the solution I've been waiting for. It'll all get right.
Yeah.
It'd be different if we saw perfect marriages all around us, but sure as heck wasn't from our parents. They were struggling too, and our parents married younger than we did, as far as like what was normal around them. Most of them in that era married much younger, so they even knew less.
True.
But they also had less experience. But regardless, that's a
and of course, we all know the couples we see on social media. We know social media is just
frauds.
They show frauds. They just show what they want you to see.
Yeah, exactly. As soon as the cameras come off, they're like going back to the separate residence. Like, you don't even know who lives together or whatnot. That's why.
Yeah.
But right there, for people who watch other couples, what's living rent free in them is envy and the wanting of a lifestyle that they see. I have no idea how to get. It seems to be indulgent. Like, I used to be, just so embarrassing to say, but it's not. Because you know what? I paid my cable bill so I can watch what I want to watch. So when Love is Blind first came out, I was like, what is this madness? And I got caught up in Married at First. I'm like, these people are crazy.
I
realized what it was. I was looking into just how people actually met and how they, how do I put it? I guess the dating ritual of getting to meet someone. And I guess I'm thinking in my head like, oh man, I would have never done that. I would have never said this. And at the end of the day, it's like, that is way in the past. Two, it doesn't serve me any purpose at this point. And am I just doing to measure it so I feel better about myself? Like, whew, at least I wasn't like that clown. Like, what's the point? Like,
dang it. True.
Entertainment, I get it, but to start watching 6, 7 seasons of it, of the same rinse and repeat, I have to cut that off, man. Then they start to UK and all these places. I'm like, I don't want to see the UK people getting married. I don't care about them. Shout out to UK. No problem with people. Just the show was kind of dull. No saying.
You know what's so funny? You said you cut it off?
Yeah, like I don't know who's who. I don't know what season they're in. I've seen stuff, but I'm like, nah.
Yeah.
It got to the point where I think 2 years ago, a friend of mine said she just buffers through it, and I'm like, do you really buffer through it? And I realized you're smart. Just get to the end. Yeah. Before the reunion's like, okay, so you guys didn't make it. Oh well, and that's it. Let's hope slowly.
Well, I think it's interesting that you said that you no longer watch it, and I say that because I went through something similar with another show. I'm not much of a TV person at all, but there was one show that I wanted to watch so badly. Don't know why.
What show?
But I'm talking about this whole rent. I'll tell you what it is. I'm embarrassed to say because it's actually pretty smutty. No, actually, it's not. Actually,
there's no embarrassment here.
Oh, there is. Bring on the shame.
There is. There's lots of shame and embarrassment where you said there's no. I'm just joking. No, but I say that because the fact that you stopped watching it was the Holy Spirit leading you and recognizing that when your mind is becoming infiltrated with garbage, you have to stop. You have to be conscious of stopping and redirecting. I say that because I'm not a TV person. Like I've said to you, I didn't even own TV for most of my life. I don't watch it. I was so excited in this season. I got a TV recently in this past year, and then I got the cable box, and I actually was able to watch the show. It was Sisters.
What was it?
And
that's Tyler Perry show.
Which one?
Yes.
Which show? I didn't hear it.
Sisters.
Okay, I saw the first 2 seasons. I was like, this is garbage.
Okay. So you see what I'm saying now? I was addicted to watching this show because I didn't have access to watching it for years, literally. So now I have access. And so I binge watched it, and guess what? All of a sudden, probably about 2 weeks in, I had plans for this binge watching. Okay, I was going to do all the season. And about into the second season, I kind of went, I feel like I'm just filling my brain with useless garbage. And in the time that I watched an episode, I could, even if I did 20 minutes of a scripture versus an hour, I still could have done 20 minutes of reading scripture. Like I just felt like I was just intentionally binge watching garbage. And the Holy Spirit was just like, girl, this is not even who you are. And I had to say, cut that sucker off, because the dramas of it, we're talking about living rent free. The drama story of it was low quality, first of all.
So extreme.
But I'd be at work. Right. But I'd be at work thinking about their garbage, not thinking about my spiritual walk.
What do you think those shows are training us to do? They're training us to like get used to continuous trauma, continuous drama.
Exactly.
Continuous garbage all the time. There's no rest or no peace. Because of Jesus.
And if you're not intentional, you will go down that hole. You will go down it. The fact that you stopped watching it, I'm so proud of you, because you recognize, your spirit recognizes, this is not nourishing me.
No.
Is it entertaining me? Is it hitting the dopamine hit? Yes. But it's not even nourishing me. So even the dopamine hit that you were getting from it before starts to diminish.
Yeah. So then it starts to become routine. It's not about the dopamine anymore.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But let me ask you this. Your therapist asked a question, so let me flip her on. Start asking yourself this question. Why am I watching these things? What is it? Is there something I'm trying to avoid? Is there something I'm trying to get over? Is there something I'm trying to get through? Because it's occupying a time of proper focus and thought for a reason. What's that reason?
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you know what I would tell you the truth, that there was 2 answers to that. At first, I thought that I was rejuvenating and resting because I had come out of a season that was very tumultuous and emotional. And I thought it was just me resting and escaping and just kind of decompressing. And then I recognized that it was the works of the enemy, because he was finding what could keep me distracted from my focus on God, which is what I really need to focus on in that season. And he was just like finding little things that, oh, you weren't feeling, you've come out of this season where things weren't good for you. I'm going to give you all the fickle pleasures now. And I say that because I went through a season of having to abstain from a lot of things. And that was the same season where I was being conscious and going, you know what, that habit and behavior, Michelle, is not serving you. It's actually very empty. You're engaging in that, but you're still walking away feeling empty. And I would say, no, abstain. Right. And then this area, again, abstain. So at first, I actually thought it was the escaping from the trauma, but then I realized it was the enemy taking advantage of my weakness. Yeah. He's like, oh, she thinks that this is healing her? Excellent. Keep going down this rabbit hole.
That's us accepting the bite apple. He can only present it.
Yeah.
And then we eat up the situation. Like, oh man, I'm down to the core. What did I do? What did I do?
Yeah. Oh man.
At the end of the day,
and then
we allow a lot of things to live rent free, but it's like we also have to just recognize we have choices, and we need to ask questions within. Asking questions within, the Holy Spirit will speak to you. And we're not talking about you levitating and stuff. Like, people need to learn to talk within themselves, because they talk to themselves a lot about negative stuff.
Yeah.
But inquire, ask questions on why is this? Why did this come up at this time? Yeah. What was it that led up to this?
Yeah.
And God will speak to you.
Definitely.
And I don't think you have to be saved for that, because he answers a lot of people before they get saved.
Yep.
You really have no excuses.
Yeah.
Right? We should be doing that. So, I mean, if you are being distracted, because if you're not focused on God, you'll be distracted off of God. And the enemy loves that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, folks, don't let anything that's not worthwhile live rent free in your head. Anything dislike, hate, anything you got a problem with, whatnot, find a way to deal with it properly up front. Deal with it through God. You'll get a better solution to it at the end of the day. But rent free is going to cost somebody something.
Yeah.
It's usually
True.
The only thing that should be rent free in our minds is the things of God.
Exactly. He's the only one that should be there rent free. And even with that, it's like, it's going to cost something.
Oh yeah.
But what you get out of it is more than you can ever pay.
Yeah. Yeah.
And is it really rent free? Because he paid a big price for us.
He paid a big price for us.
Oh, that's true, Michelle. That's so true. So true.
He paid a big price for us.
Yeah.
Knowing that we're going to drop the ball.
Oh yeah.
Do all this stuff.
It's a lead time.
It is.
Yeah. Letting him live in our hearts, our minds, and our thoughts rent free is the least we could do, literally.
That was the thought I had. The final thought I had was, the enemy likes to live rent free in your head, but the Lord lives rent free in your heart.
Yeah. Yeah.
Look what he wants from you. He wants your heart.
Yeah.
And he tries to confuse you in your head.
Yeah.
Let's keep that in mind, how the two want you in different ways.
Sure.
One wants you for the purity of you. The other one wants you to scramble thoughts.
Anyways,
Lord, thank you for this episode. I want to thank my guests.
Yes.
I want to thank those who came on to listen. I want to thank my co-hosts. I want to thank
Great conversation.
I want to thank him. I'm feeling good.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for making me feel joyful doing these episodes. I really do appreciate that.
Yeah.
So, thank you all again for this episode. And join us back next week when we have another topic of great conversations. We appreciate you guys coming out. Everyone have a great one.
Yes, take care.
Have a good one.